He is causing then good to work for those whom he has called to himself. And those whom he has called, those are the ones who love him. So he's got to explain that a little, because that's a grand and big idea. And here's what he said. For those whom he foreknew, that's new beforehand. The ones he didn't know before you were here, these he, and this is an important word, also predestined. Now, let me say why it's important. Here's what some people will say, Christy. Some people will say that God calls those who he foreknew would one day love him. That's what some people will say. So that he only predestines those who he knew would come to him. But here's what I believe it means. God, who knew Christy before Christy existed, predetermined that he would call her to himself. Those whom he knew beforehand, he predestined. I love the word. Some folks don't like the word. You know, you can't like the word and like free will. Now that's just a given. Now that's one of those buzzwords in our culture. Am I on? So we can get this on tape? I am on, right? See, that's one of those buzzwords in our culture. People in this culture have as their highest ideal freedom of humanity's will. That's even above the gospel. They don't think the gospel can work unless men are free. I have to be free to respond to the gospel for the gospel to even have any merit to it. Why preach a gospel to people who are not free to respond to it, they say. And I say, your worldview is wrong. Your paradigm needs an adjustment. Here is God who stands above your freedom of the will, and the God up here predetermines to call you in all of your perceived freedom to himself. And as a result, you start moving thinking I'm making my own decisions, but he's calling, and you don't know it yet because he started it long before you even existed. That's called a God. That's just called a God. He can do those kind of things and stand above your freedom, and in all of your ignorance and sin let you think you free, and yet he's calling. And he started the whole process before you were even here.